The thing that I just talked about is that, a lot of people, a lot of times we try and focus on, okay, what are the foods that we're supposed to eat, right? So we know, like, okay, we have to eat healthy food. The calories matter, the protein matters, the carbs matter. But sometimes we overlook how we cook the food, because how we cook the food makes the biggest difference. And a lot of people, when I talk to them, when they say, like, hey, like, I'm not able to lose weight, it's because they're not paying attention to how they're cooking their food. And now, with more research, more studies, they also show like the way that we cook our food matters a lot. And the types of utensils that we use, the types of pots that we use, the types of metals that we use, because when you heat stuff, it also changes and sort of lets out certain things, like if there's plastic. So that plastic can actually leach, and depending on what you're using. And there's like things like what's this, Teflon? Yeah, Teflon, like those non-stick pans. So there's a lot of research and sort of like different things that people think about when they're talking about, like, okay, how to cook. So one of the things that are very important that we know, like things like ceramic, glass, those things are fine. Those things are good for, in terms of like material to use for cooking. And one of the things, I mean, we can talk about that later on, but one of the things that people tend to want and tend to desire is taste. So the taste of food matters to a lot of people. And things like sauces, spices, types of like different oils that they use, because they sort of add flavor to food. So at times when people say, like, okay, I'm eating healthy, but I'm not losing weight, I'm like, okay, let's figure out like what the problem is. Because if you don't know how much you're eating in terms of calories, and you don't know how to track, you don't know what you're doing, most likely you're going to lose the battle, because you're not taking time to actually understand, like, okay, if I'm going to try and lose, let's say, 60 pounds, how much am I supposed to eat? Right? Because initially, let's say the first 40 pounds might be easy to lose. But if you don't actually pay attention to how you're cooking, the last bit of your journey is going to be much, much, much more difficult than you would want it to be. So you actually need to understand that, okay, once you get to like, 60, 80% of the way, you might have to start adjusting some things. And that's when, like, your cooking methods matter more. And especially if you're like changing your lifestyle from like eating processed foods and fast food. So just cooking from home is good. But then it gets to a point where, even if you're cooking from home, how you cook your food now matters, because now you might be adding hidden calories in your food. So we really want to make sure that we're paying attention to this, right? So one of the things that, people do is, or overlook, is that when they eat food, for example, there are things that are called like seed oils. So the different types of oils, like your canola and some of the restaurant oils. Like if you've seen like a restaurant, like in the kitchen, how they cook, they have those big pans, or like deep frying pans, where they just like soak like fries, for example, and they just soak it, and then they just pull them out. And that oil is hot, and they dip so many things in that oil. And what you find is that your food changes the moment you cook it in a certain way. So if you deep fry your food, it changes. So the structure of your food, like the actual biological structure of your food, it changes, just like protein. Depending on how high the heat is, your protein denatures, and essentially like the function of your food changes depending on how you've cooked your food. And that's why you find some people talk about like eating raw food, or like juicing, where they try and preserve all the nutrients in, let's say, things like veggies, just by juicing it, or like even just like blending the food so that they can eat all the nutrients and take in all the nutrients because they want to preserve the full profile, the nutrition profile of the food. And so by, cooking the food a different way, it might change it. So when you cook food, obviously there's going to be some things that you add to add flavor. So there's oil, butter, sugar, sauce, and obviously like the frying fat that we talked about. So these are things that we need to really pay attention, because even like you have a potato and you fry it, the moment you take it out, like as you if you dipped it in there, let's say if the potato was like maybe 200 calories, when you take it out, it might be like 400 calories, right? Because your fat, again, has 1 gram of fat, has about 9 calories. And for your potato, 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories. So already when you dip it in, like you take it out, it's easy to double the calories just by using fat, because you don't know how much fat is going to get soaked into that potato, and you don't know, right? So that's why it's important to pay attention to the cooking method that you use, even if it's fries at home. When you deep fry it at home, it's not just in restaurants. So that's the thing that we need to understand, that a meal, even though we call it like healthy food, a healthy food option, sometimes that healthy food option can still not be good for you if you're trying to lose weight, because it's packed with hidden calories. So these are things that we need to understand, especially like when we talk about like the calories, like why does it matter so much? Right. So the fat, remember, the fat is more than double the calories of carbs. So that matters. And you need to pay attention to what you're using to cook. And then the one thing that people, tend to think is, if I think this is what we've been talking about, right? So it's not always going to be automatic that your food is healthy just by the nature of like where you got it, even if you get it from a healthy food store, it's still fine. So what happens, the benefit to that is, if you get it from a healthy food store, it's better than getting fast food for sure. Way, 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 way better than that. So when you get it from like a healthy food store, at least you know that you're getting some of the nutritious foods and the nutrients in the food. But now you need to preserve that profile of the food, because you don't want to get into a situation where you're like, well, I'm eating healthy, but nothing is happening. I'm not losing weight, or I still feel like I don't have energy. Because when you eat healthy, you're supposed to have better energy. So you need to pay attention to that, and then realize that, okay, when you do have the healthy food, are you planning your meals? Are you preparing the meals so that you have like your meals planned out? And have you cooked them in a way that you can store them, preserve them? Let's say if you're going to put it in your fridge, right? Can you cook it well enough to put it in the fridge? So that's the one misconception that people think when they approach their food and their diet, when they're eating healthy or starting out, at least, they don't pay attention to how they cook. And one of the things that happens when someone does that, they start wondering, like, okay, so I'm eating healthy, like I've followed this diet plan. It tells me, okay, I'm supposed to eat this food. These are the healthy food options that I need to eat. But it's not working, right? So they stop blaming themselves and blaming themselves, wondering like, okay, so I'm I'm not losing weight. Why am I not losing weight? And you start thinking that you don't have discipline. And you start thinking like, okay, I'm not progressing because there's something wrong with me, or my scale is broken, or my metabolism is broken. No, it's not that. It's just that there's a hidden amount of calories in the food that you're eating, right? So the things that we need to pay attention is the oil, the sauces, the fried food, and sugary drinks. Because you also don't want to eat a lot of your calories. I mean, drink them. more specifically. So some drinks have a lot of calories. So let's say, for example, if you're talking about like soft drinks, your Cokes, unless if you're having something like Coke Zero and or like a diet soda, but those drinks sometimes they're also not good for you. Depending, you have to now pay attention to the ingredients. But if you have like sugary drinks that are not like juice, if you're having sweet stuff, if it's like something that you need to drink, it's good, it's better to drink juice, but also juice that's not like packed with a ton of like ingredients. If you can get like pure 100% juice, that's the healthiest option that you should opt for and go for, because the moment you start drinking juice and drinking anything that's sugary, I mean, like I still enjoy like milkshakes here and there, but the main thing is like if part of your daily diet includes like drinking any sort of like drink or juice or anything like that, you have to pay attention to like amount of sugar that's in your drink. And sometimes like I've seen people who drink those coffees or like Starbucks drinks, and they pack them with like a ton of sugar. Like you have your creams, you have your what's that, like the frap, right? You have the cream, the whipped cream, all of that. So like cream, as in like the milk cream type of cream, and then you have like the whipped cream, right? So people pack it with so many things, and so that also adds a lot of calories, because that drink could easily be like 500 calories, right? Those with the fraps with the whipped cream, so those ones can have high calorie content. So slow fat loss does not always mean that your body is broken. That's the thing that you need to understand. And your hidden calories will stall your progress, and the preparation methods will erase your deficit, because you're supposed to be in a caloric deficit. Your calories should be less than what you use in a day, the calories that you eat. So should be less than the amount of weight, less than the amount the energy that you use in a day. So there has to be a difference. So which means that, depending on how much you're trying to lose, you might experience a bit of, low energy at some points. So that's why it's important to time your meals throughout the day, so that you actually have energy to sustain you. Because if you struggle to lose weight because you're like, okay, I've got low energy, okay, like I can't do this, you might be timing your meals wrong. So you have to time your meals so that when you need the most energy, that's when you have your meals, like at least like an hour and a half to 2 hours, then you can have your meal. So you want to time your meal so that your energy is sustained throughout the day. So, sometimes it's not about you, your discipline. It's not a problem that you have as a person, but it's just the amount of calories that you're having that are hidden because you weren't paying attention to those. So once you figure that out, it's going to be easy for you to actually sustain and then just keep going, because you figured out like, okay, what is actually going on, right? So that's important for us to really understand and just make sure that we're not beating ourselves too much, because when you beat yourself too much, you now lose your motivation, and realize that it's not about you. It's just a matter of you making sure that you're tracking and seeing where you might be missing things.